Hello and welcome to the Aryaman Show. As always, I'm your host Aryaman Upasni. We are done with what was probably the most important match of the tournament, India versus Pakistan. And India came through. And India came through very, very well in this match. Um, was this match one of the best India Pakistan matches you've seen? No. But it did give us some drama at least. At times it did feel boring, especially in the middle overs. But the way it ended, the way we chased the score, and way a certain player completed his 100. I think, in spite of it not being an even competition, not being exciting enough, it was still worth watching it. And we'll talk more about it right after the intro. Well, we're finally done with the most anticipated game of this tournament. Well, I think it would have been nice if this game could have been hosted in Pakistan, but obviously, security issues being one thing, we could not have that, and that is why Dubai. But nevertheless, um, this match was a good one, but not a great one by any standard. I mean, pick up any game between these two countries post that 2022 T20 World Cup. We've not seen any good India versus Pakistan game. You could say the 2024 T20 World Cup game was close because, of course, it was a very low scoring game. India had scored very low and there was a lot of pressure on them. So, yeah, that one. But if you look at the ODI format, it has quite simply been the same story over and over again. Pakistan, they look good in the start, but somewhere they fumble, and then India comes in and dominates for the rest of the game. And we saw that yesterday. India losing the toss for the 12th time consecutively or something, which was weird. I mean, how can you lose the toss 12 times in a row? Um, but then Pakistan winning the toss, choosing to bat. Babar Azam comes on to bat, comes on to open. And I think after all that criticism against him, he looked in good touch. But again, the criticism is valid. He could not convert his start into a very good score, and Pakistan really needed that yesterday. He scored 5 boundaries, but losing your wicket at 23, it doesn't help. And that directed from Aksar Patel, dismissing Imamullah, brilliant as well. Now the next 20 overs for Pakistan and India, a couple of different perspectives. From the Indian perspective, it was very boring to watch because India were not able to take wickets and Pakistan were not able to score runs. So there was essentially nothing happening for almost 10 overs. But then after that 20th over, you saw Rizwan and South Shakil getting settled, and they started raining on the fours, and that is when the game got a bit exciting. And then you thought, okay, at this point, if they play well, if they continue playing well, maybe Rizwan and South both have centuries in this game, and we get to see a high scorer in Dubai. But again, Bapu had different plans for them. Rizwan being dismissed by Aksar Patel, giving India that very massive breakthrough. And after that, you kind of saw Pakistan fall like a pack of cards. Obviously, Khusdil played a very good innings, and there were two small cameos by Salman Ali Agha and Naseem. But other than that, you saw no one. And once South Shakil was dismissed, it was game over for Pakistan. And somehow they reached 241. And at one point where they were almost 160 for 241 all out seems bad. And especially when India does not have their main fast bowler with them, that is Jasprit Bumrah. Not saying that Harshit Rana and Mohammad Shami are bad, but they too did not have the best of their days. Shami rarely goes wicketless, but yesterday was a day very, very wicketless. Harshit Rana bowled well, but he was not that effective at the end of the day. So it was not a very extraordinary bowling lineup. Somewhere Pakistani batsmen really fumbled hard, and they were the reason they lost. India did not win the game because India was too good. Pakistan lost the game because they were bad. There's no two ways about it. Now let's talk about the good for Pakistan. There were none. Okay, there were two. Um, I think one for me was probably Abrar's bowling. The way he bowled his 10 overs, 1 for 27. That is crazy. Crazy level of figures that he has. That too against Shreyas Iyer and Virat Kohli on strike. Amazing. And the way he took Shubman Gill's wicket, ball falling on the leg stump, moving on to the off stump, and hitting the top of the off stump, definitely has to be the ball of the day for me. And the next best thing that Pakistan did, Imamul Haq's catch, dismissing Shreyas Iyer. Again, that was a brilliant catch. That was probably the best catch. If not, for me it is definitely on the same level of Jaddu's catch that he took off Kuldeep Yadav. So there were a couple of positives, but there are just a couple of positives. Pakistan's batting fumbled. The partnership that Rizwan built lost all because of a very poor shot. Pakistan's middle order and lower middle order hardly performed. Pakistan's bowling, okay, that was one department, but they were comparatively better. But apart from Shaheen Afridi's initial few overs where he dismissed Rohit Sharma, you really did not see anything of substance. In the middle overs, Abrar bowled really well. That was not just because Pakistan were bowling well. That was also because Virat Kohli and Shreyas Iyer, they were playing very cautiously against spin. They were defending the balls more than they were trying to score off them. And we know Virat Kohli's recent struggles with spin. So it only made sense for him to play a long, steady innings because he knew if he just plays off those 10 overs of Abrar, the rest are fast bowlers, and there's only maybe a couple of part-time spin bowlers, one part-time spin bowler that he might have to play against for a few overs. But then other than that, bowling wise, Pakistan were very decent. When you think of Pakistan's bowling lineup, you are instantly reminded of Shoaib Akhtar or Wasim Akram or Waqar Yunis from the 1990s to the late 2000s, and even going up till 2015, 16, 17. They had a very good bowling lineup. It was a very fierce Pakistani bowling lineup. And it was again during that time that we saw Naseem Shah and Shaheen Afridi coming onto the scene, and they were touted to be the next big thing. And they are very good bowlers, but yesterday was not their day. Or this tournament was not their tournament, because I don't know what happened to them, but they're not the same level. They don't look at the same level anymore. So that is disappointing. Moving on to India, because there's a lot of things that we could discuss over there. Bowling wise, yesterday was a rarity. You did not see Shami, like I said, Shami taking a wicket. You did not see a lot of bowlers being that effective early on. The most worrying part for me, to be honest, was that a period between the 10th to 30th over, like I've already said, because even though the game was very slow in those 20 overs, we were not able to take wickets. So that was for me a bit disturbing, and that could be a concern because we saw that against Bangladesh as well. We let Bangladesh play for 20 overs, build a partnership. We saw the same yesterday. And obviously, credit to the batsmen because they were defending the balls more than they were trying to score runs. And again, that is a reason why we are not able to take wickets between those 15-20 overs. But you've got to manage to do that. In Bangladesh, obviously, we had some opportunities that we left, but in Pakistan, we didn't really see any opportunities. Yes, there were a couple of umpire calls, but that is just, I think, pure luck. If the umpire says out and it comes as umpire's call, then it's good. But we did not see any. We just saw a couple of umpire calls, but other than that, nothing. But once, of course, we got Rizwan out, uh, India's bowling seemed a bit, you know, rejuvenated, I can say, or reinvigorated. And there was some life back into that attack. And from then, obviously, we saw wickets falling in the regular intervals, partly because of how well we bowled, of how well our lines and lengths were, and partly because, well, Pakistan batted really bad. So that was one aspect of it. Another thing by which I am a bit surprised. I really thought they would bring in Arshdeep Singh yesterday, but I still don't know why they don't bring him in. They could have very easily bought in Arshdeep instead of Harshit Rana. Not that Harshit Rana is doing bad, but having a left arm fast bowler, who can swing the ball either ways. Imagine that on the Dubai pitch. Imagine the impact he would have had early on in the power play. We would not have to be dependent on Hardik Pandya. He bowled really well to dismiss Babar Azam. But I think if we had Arshdeep to, start the innings, maybe he could have taken a couple of wickets very early on. So that is something I feel that Indian team should do. Arshdeep, they should go with Arshdeep at least for the next game against New Zealand. That is crucial. That is very essential. So India needs to do that. That is still a surprise to me why he isn't getting picked. Of course, I hear things about Gambhir's favoritism towards Harshit Rana, but again, Harshit Rana has performed, so it isn't blind favoritism. So maybe we next game we will see Arshdeep Singh coming in. But other than that, India had a very decent bowling lineup. We had a very decent show out there. We took wickets when we got the opportunities. Those 20 overs, 15-20 overs where we went wicketless for the last two games. That is, I think, the only sign of concern as far as the Indian bowling lineup goes. As for batting, we probably saw Rohit Sharma playing in his potentially last India Pakistan game yesterday, because judging by his age, he's around 38 right now. I don't think he'll be playing the next ODI World Cup in 2027. And now that he's retired from T20s, he won't be playing the 2026 T20 World Cup. And the Asia Cup that's happening later this year is also a T20 tournament. So this was probably the last time we've seen Rohit Sharma play in an India versus Pakistan contest, and it was a good contest. At the end of the day, it was a good victory to have. If it was indeed his last game, what a way to win it. Rohit Sharma again started off really well. He took those chances as he always does. He showed his intent as he always does. And Shubman Gill supported him again. Shubman Gill, what a character, I must say. What a player. The innings he had against Bangladesh and the innings he had against Pakistan, both very crucial, both, of very, very high standards. Obviously, he was bowled out, Shubman Gill, of a beautiful delivery by Abrar. And Rohit Sharma as well, that Yorker by Shaheen Afridi. Amazing. So, two very good deliveries to dismiss the openers. Otherwise, to dismiss them, it would have been very tough. And then the way Kohli and Shreyas Iyer played and controlled the innings, the way Shreyas Iyer hit his half century, the way Kohli went on to score his century, that was, worth the boring stuff that we had to watch. And for the fans who went to Dubai, it was definitely worth the money. I mean, I think all of us at the end, everyone who was watching the game, we knew we are going to win this game. But towards the end, everyone was waiting. Okay, everyone was calculating. Okay, you need 19 runs to win. Kohli needs 14 runs to score a century. Okay, Aksar, take that single. Let Kohli bat. Let him do it. But I think if you're playing a game which you've already kind of won, and a certain player is able to make a batting record, and a player whose batting record everyone wants to watch, I don't think that's selfish. It would have been selfish if India were in a very crucial position and Kohli would have been playing only to score a century. That would have been selfish. But yesterday's situation, I don't think it was selfish. I think that was just pure entertainment and everyone enjoyed watching that. And what a sight it was, to see finally Kohli hitting his 82nd international century. It was a brilliant innings by a brilliant player. And like we have the saying, come at the hour, come at the man. And the man definitely came when India needed him the most. And it was something like watching vintage prime Kohli, those cover drives that he hit, absolutely exquisite. And to be honest, quite orgasmic as well. They were so good. And even Shubman Gill's straight drive, brilliant. And all this in addition to the fact that we won. Cherry on top for the Indians. For the Pakistanis, it is utter disappointment. Although I think they might have enjoyed Kohli's century a bit, but overall, the way their team played must have been very, very disappointing. And that means Pakistan are unofficially out of the Champions Trophy. To host an ICC tournament in your country after 28 years. Imagine your countrymen hoping you do wonders the way you did in 2017, and to finish your campaign in this tournament within just 4 days, 5 days. Like I said, heavily disappointing. Now, obviously, Pakistan are not officially out yet, but it just seems inevitable. Now, the only obviously situation in which Pakistan does somehow stay in the Champions Trophy is if New Zealand is beaten by Bangladesh today. And at the time I'm recording, I have my score beside me, and it does seem a pretty easy win for the Kiwis. So, unless Bangladesh do a surprise, defeat New Zealand, and then India goes on to defeat New Zealand at the 2nd of March, and then Pakistan defeats Bangladesh. And if Pakistan defeat Bangladesh with a very high margin, with a better NRR than New Zealand and Bangladesh, that is the only situation. Pakistan remain the Champions Trophy. So, like I said, very wishful thinking sort of thing that is happening with them, and it's they're out. That's bottom line. They're out unless a miracle happens tonight. Pakistan is out, and that is, like I said, heavily disappointing for me. They could have, to be honest, done very well. Considering this is a home tournament, you had every advantage that could be given to you. You knew your home conditions, you knew your conditions in Dubai, you knew what kind of pitches were going to be there, and yet you still lost. So, I mean, it's not even that you played well in the group stages and then you lost in the knockout like India usually does. You lost from the very start. And this is a very short format, not like the World Cup where you have 9 games. So even if you lose the first couple of ones, you get to win the rest of the games and you still have a chance to go into the semis. It's not like that. So, yeah, a game which had significant moments. Kohli's century, Kohli scoring 14,000 runs, Rohit's potentially last India versus Pakistan match, a few moments here and there, Shaheen Afridi's wicket of Rohit Sharma, Abra's wicket of Shubman Gill, Akshar Patel's direct throw, Imamul Haq's catch, Jaddu's catch. So you have those very small moments here and there throughout the match, but it just was not a contest. It was a bit of a boring game. Disappointing for all fans. That's enough of me whining over the game from yesterday. And yep, let's hope that when the 2nd of March comes, India do defeat New Zealand and go to the semis as table toppers and probably lift this trophy once again. But until that, until the 3rd of March, when I'll finally release the review of India's last group stage match, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay tuned for more such videos. Like, share, subscribe. You don't do that. You don't do that. And YouTube, you know, make sure this video reaches a lot of people. And you, the viewer, share this. So, yes, like, share, subscribe. Bye bye.